Message details. Everything's blanked out. Subject, wedding question. Message, hello, my fiance and I are looking for a wedding photographer, but are having some issues with the contracts we are coming across. We are wanting a clause that guarantees us a refund should we ever get divorced, since we would not need the photos in that situation. This is absolutely insane. Also, having prenuptial agreements and that sort of thing, you know, for certain scenarios. I don't really understand planning to get a divorce. That just seems to not make any sense. That's insane. I don't think that they found a photographer willing.
No, she didn't. She didn't do that. What? Yeah, that's a big no-no for me. That is like the biggest red flag. I'd be standing there at the altar and be like, oh my God, the alarm bell is just going off in my brain. Like, what the hell have I got myself into? Can I hug my ex-boyfriend one final time? Like, this day is not even remotely about that guy. Why do you even remember that guy? You know, it's like, why is that guy even here? Like, what is he doing here right now? Like, what? Holy.
In the middle of my wedding ceremony, realizing I'd made a terrible mistake.
Pause for a moment. I just realized when I got up to the end of the aisle that I'm missing half of my dress. Maybe I could put it on now. I'm sure you guys have never been to a wedding like this before. Okay, we can resume.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I was literally just thinking, like, even before she paused, I was thinking about how beautiful she looked. She looked so good, but that really was the finishing touch on the dress for sure. That's so hilarious. Honestly, like, for sure not how she probably envisioned the day going, but I kind of love that moment. It's just so real and everyone is laughing and having a good time, and she looked bomb. She looked so bomb. And that looked like a lovely wedding. I don't think she's a bridezilla. That's really funny. Oops. Oh my God, I hate this already. Freaking contract. All right, let's zoom right in so we can all see. Can you see this? Okay, my promises to you, blank. I will make every attempt to keep things inexpensive for everyone and treat your time and energy with all the respect it deserves. So it looks like there's two promises for her, and then your promises to me. You will purchase the decided upon bridesmaid dress when the time comes without a fuss, even if it wasn't the one you liked most. You will pay $100 deposit agreeing to these terms. The deposit will be added to your dress cost. Deposit non-refundable. So they're taking a deposit to be a bridesmaid? I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, I've obviously never gotten married before. I've never been a bridesmaid before either. Which, like, thank God, I'm not really interested. I don't know if that's mean or not, but like, I'm down to celebrate, but it's just a lot of responsibility, you know, a lot of stuff to do.
My best friend left me out of her bridal party because I was overweight, and her mother thought that that would limit bridesmaid dress choices and throw the wedding photos off. Sorry, so what you mean to say is your ex-best friend left you out of the bridal party, because there is no way I could ever talk to that person again. Oh my God. I get that it's your special day, but good, wow, that's mean. You got a mean mom. You got a mean mom telling you can't have your best friend because she's gonna throw off. They make dresses for everybody. Oh, I'm sorry, that sucks, actually.
Also, imagine like so many years down the line and you gotta give them a refund. 30 years in, they get a divorce and you gotta give them a refund. That would be insane. Okay, good morning, blank. My name is blank. I am the wedding coordinator for blank and blank. We've got some other stuff blanked out. Rules and regulations. Do not talk to the bride at all. Everyone will toast with Remy. No acceptance. Lastly, must come with gift $75 or more, or you won't be admitted in. If you're gonna have that many rules for the wedding and like insane rules, you might wanna at least send the email with no spelling mistakes. It's just a thought, you know? Not trying to be rude, but geez Louise, people are crazy. Like, I get it, some rules like are a little out there, but they like make sense and stuff. This is just pure entitlement. I love do not talk to the bride at all is really funny though. That would be what I want for my wedding. Okay, so question. I have a maid of honor and 3 bridesmaids. My maid of honor and 2 of my bridesmaids love the dress I picked out for them and have ordered it. It is $265. Now, I totally know that not everyone can afford that, but all of my bridesmaids have waited 36 years for me to get married. Nobody waited 36 years for you to get married. I'll tell you that. I'm sure they're all very happy for you, but I'm sure none of them really cared, okay? They weren't waiting with bated breath for you to get married. No, they didn't. I just found out today that one of them wasn't planning to spend much more than $150. What do I do if the other 3 of the 4 total have the same dress? Pictures of one of our engagement photos. First of all, not wanting to spend more than $150 on a dress that you might not even like, and also you probably will never wear again, is like so reasonable. And you, as the bride, should probably, I don't know, foot the rest of that bill if you really want them to wear that dress so damn bad. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Man, people are entitled. It's all on Facebook too. What a surprise. Like, I thought people on Facebook were just great.
These people are evil, remember?
Definitely some sort of a texting conversation. This is your second wedding. You planned something. I took off work and got chewed out. I bought a dress I didn't need and even planned to cook for it as a favor, and you canceled it last second. All right, we're done here. That's somebody who is upset that they got called out and can't really deny any of the things. I love you and want to do this with you and for you, but let me get my blank homework done. No, I'm done talking. Go get your homework done. Lady, don't act like you're trying to tell me what to do. Then whatever, dude, you're gonna blow this marriage too. I hope so. I hope so. Like, that's so dumb. If anybody has more context to like what this is, I really need to know, because this is just insane. This is your second wedding? Like, what, second wedding, like, did you get divorced before? Or is this your second wedding to the same person? This one's the definition of just entitlement. This is just an entitled person.
Okay, Xavier Grayson, 6 years ago, I left my ex-fiance a month before the wedding. Backstory, I never actually proposed to her. She more or less did it to me. We were in a mall and she wanted to go to a jewelry store to look at engagement rings. I wasn't expecting to walk out of there with one, but we did. This salesperson even took a just engaged Polaroid. LOL. She became more and more controlling and I couldn't take it anymore. After I left her, her friend texted me on the day of the supposed ceremony telling me the cake was delicious. My ex somehow managed to break into the email and asked me who a girl was in an email I received after I left her. I can understand her reasoning if it was before, but it wasn't. She also texted me a while after I left and told me she missed her period. An hour later, I got another text that said, never mind. Wowzers. I thought the last story was crazy. This one's insane. First of all, she proposed to him. They walked out of the engagement ring store with a whole ring. She became more and more controlling, couldn't take it anymore after I left her. Okay, so she clearly, I'm assuming she got married to another person. That's how I'm perceiving the story. The whole part about her missing her period and then telling her never mind, that is really giving me she was with another person on the side. I feel like this whole thing is meant to be like a cheating thing. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just too tired to be perceiving this correctly, but that is messy either way. Situation is terrible. Oh my God.
If you do not get an invite, here is a list of potential reasons why. How sweet. Thank you so much for creating a list for us, for compiling all the reasons. 1, if I have invited you every time we have a group function and you never show up. Fair enough. 2, if you are just a work acquaintance and I've never hung out with you outside of work. Also fair enough. 3, if I show up to things you invite me to and you never show up to our invites or even respond. I mean, it's like kind of the same as number 1, but I guess this is just crazy. I feel like this is like the thing you would send if you were in like elementary school, you know? I feel like you don't have to give like a reason why you didn't invite every single person that you work with to your wedding. Like, girl, we just aren't friends. That's it. Doesn't mean we can't be great coworkers, but like sometimes you're just not friends with the people you work with. That's not weird.
Okay, so the bride stopped talking to me immediately after her wedding because I had a terrible cold the day of her wedding and had to go rest in my room halfway through setting up her wedding decorations, which we bridesmaids made without her help. Hold up, so like that was Dude, get out of here. Literally get out of here. Like, I get it. You're the bride. It's your wedding day. But like, come on. Your friend is sick right now. She's trying to get through this. I guarantee if this was like not your wedding, not something so serious, she wouldn't even be going. You know, it's like she'd probably be calling in sick to work right now. So like, just chill.
I shouldn't have come.
The bride was goth, so she insisted on having her wedding as close to Halloween as possible, which is fine, except that she expected all her bridesmaids to learn calligraphy and handwrite all her invitations. We even got hand cramps and burns on our fingers from having to seal them with hot wax. Dude, what is it about, like, it's just like they're your bridesmaids. They're not your freaking like workers right now. Like, you're not paying them, you know, like you don't have them under contract. Like, you've asked them to be your bridesmaids. They're there to help you and support you as you get married, but they're not here to do all your freaking chores and work for you and like learn freaking calligraphy. Honestly, if I ever get married and I have groomsmen and stuff like that, I'm always just like, take me to a football game, like let's get kind of drunk, that's it, like we're good. Ridiculous.
My sister gets engaged on my 21st and has her bridal shower on my 22nd. I mean, fair enough. Like, she could have picked any other day. And it's not like she just realized, you know, if it wasn't your sister, it would be different. But it's your sister. Like, you've had to celebrate her birthday for forever. Why can't you choose like literally like the day after or like 2 days after? I don't blame her. I would act the same way.
The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Wait, what? Never mind that it was her third marriage and that the first two ended due to her own infidelity, while marriage number 3 ended the same way, but at least the groom and his friend worked past it and are still best friend. What the? Dude, how is that not the sign immediately that this marriage is not going to work out? If she says your best friend can't come because he gets it, because your best friend gets it every now and again, because your best friend found a woman he loves and chose to share his life with her, but he didn't do it in front of an altar, so I guess he's the devil.
I guess that makes me the devil.
That is nuts. I mean, I'm glad like they could work it out, but oh my God.
Hey, I am having a wedding emergency. My photographer canceled on me and I need a photographer bad. Your friend does weddings, right? She can help me? Hello? So this was 2 minutes apart, it looks like. It looks like this one right here. I know you can't, it's kind of cut off. That looks like is at 2:43 p.m. And then at 2:45, they said, hello. Sorry, I just tried to call you. Give me a call when you have a minute to talk, but yes, blank does weddings. It's sweet that you think someone who is planning a wedding would have time for a phone call. Just text me, the wedding is the 28th, Winter Wonderland theme. Lol, I get that you're stressed out, blank, but you don't need to be condescending. I'm trying to help, literally. And I'm glad that they called it out as they saw it. Listen, I do think that if you want a favor that you have time for a phone call, if that's my preferred method of communication, do you want the favor or not? Because there's one way, Karen. If you weren't informed by Mike, it's mine and Christian's wedding next month. If you're, okay. Great, already. Why does everyone just expect gifts, by the way? If you're buying us gifts, the requirement is to buy us gifts above $250 for either me or Christian. So what you're saying is that you want something over $250. Yup. Well then, don't expect me coming. Honestly. What does it say at the bottom? We have beer, cocktails, cake. Well then you're losing because we have so much people here that have confirmed. Okay, I still don't care. Then you don't need a gift over $250 if so many people are coming, right? Like, that's insane. Most people would be like, hey, we have like this limit. We're not spending over this. Like, you know, you guys are already going out of your way to come. We really appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know it's like tradition or whatever, normal to get gifts for people who are getting married, but like, it's not a requirement to go to somebody's wedding. You don't have to get anybody a gift. Warning, rant ahead. Stop sign emoji. I'm getting married next Saturday the 16th. All of my bridesmaids are gorgeous, and honestly, I can't imagine having better looking friends. My issue is, it's my fiance's best man. He's only 5'3", so he will look ridiculous escorting my sister down the aisle. He is homely as well. Like, what? A unibrow and crooked teeth. One of those really big smiles that shows off his teeth, God forbid. And 10 feet of gum off, too. Oh my God. That's not a rant. That's a goddamn roast. Jeez. Like, chill. Oh my God, that's crazy. And you put that on the internet of all things. First of all, why does it matter? They don't have to look like a couple going down the aisle. Like, it's just whatever. Second of all, why do your opinions on his appearance matter at all? You know what I mean? It's just so irrelevant. Shouldn't you be focused on like being married? Instead of like, oh, I don't find my husband's best friend attractive. You weirdo? That's weird.
Okay, 8 years ago today, my sister was left at the altar on her wedding. I was about 13, her maid of honor. He just said no and walked out when asked if he would take her to be his wife. It was horrible after. He joined the army and got married like 6 months later, and my sister moved back in with us. She stayed in my room and would cry herself to sleep every night for months. Yikes. I can't really blame him. My sister is terrible with money and had piles of debt. It just keeps getting worse. Oh my God. It's been 10 years and she's now married to a guy we all really love, but we think she made herself get pregnant recently. He doesn't want kids. And now their marriage, not even after a year, is struggling super badly. Oh my God. This girl has to have like the worst luck in the world. Like as I'm reading this, I'm just like, this is kind of tragic. Like first of all, she got left at her wedding and her sister, who was 13 at the time, was talking about how her sister's terrible with money and she's lots of debt, so clearly she's not the best example for her sister. He just said no and walked out. If she, like at that point, my life would be over. Like I feel like there's no bouncing back or coming back from that, like period. But the fact that this guy then joined the army and got married 6 months later, it wasn't even a year after they finished, they called off their wedding. Like that's crazy.
I will not grow sensitive and angry with the bride because I understand that she has a bossy attitude. I'm assuming this is rule 21 on a list of rules. That's my guess, first of all, which is like its own thing, but I will just understand that if she's being rude, it's just because she's a bossy attitude and I'm just supposed to deal with that.
Okay, Scrappy_LaRue 6 years ago said, not at the altar, but I bailed just 2 days before we were headed to City Hall. Big yikes. It was a green... It's always the green card marriage, y'all. It's always the green card marriages, bro. It was a green card marriage. On our second date, she mentioned that her visa was expiring in 6 months, and I jokingly proposed to her. Dude, this is where you messed up. We continued dating, we're falling for each other, and that proposal became much more real as the deadline approached. Oh my God, that's kind of cute. It's giving like enemies to friends to lovers love trope. Yo, guys. I love reading, and this is giving me like a fiction book right now. Like I'm like, that line right there would be a killer trope. Like you could base a whole book off of that part alone. Anyways, I'm straying way off. So we continued dating, we're falling for each other, and the proposal became much more real as the deadline approached. I backed out at the last minute because we just didn't agree on a few details. Can you imagine you're starting to actually fall for someone who you jokingly proposed to, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Living arrangements and finances were easy. What couldn't be negotiated was how seriously either of us wanted to take these vows. I wanted to at least attempt to be a married, monogamous couple. She didn't really want to commit to that. Whoa. If she falls deeper in love, great. If not, we're just roommates. I miss her, but I think I dodged a bullet. I believe she would have vanished on me at some point, and I could be in a real jam over immigration crime. Yikes. That is messy. Wait, hold on. There's so much to break down. Like there's so much happening in this one story. Living arrangements, finances, whatever. Oh no, he said that was the easy part. What they were negotiating was how serious either of them wanted to take their vows. If you had to be questioning that, you shouldn't be getting married, period. But I mean, I wanted to at least attempt to be married, monogamous couple. That's crazy. Leaving at the altar 2 days prior is crazy. Talking about immigration crime, that's crazy. I'm like, really, I cannot.
At the risk of sounding entitled, the fact they've already posted something this long is too much. I have to vent today. When we invited our friends and family to our destination wedding in Thailand, only 9 people RSVP'd out of 150. Okay, I get it, paying $3K to share my special day is too much for some of you. I'd pay for yours, but whatever. Alright, sure, let's keep going. But then when we changed the wedding to be in Hawaii so it's within everyone's reach, only 7 of you RSVP'd? It costs less, but less of you want to come? Is that what you think of blank and me? You can't spare $2K to come share our happiness? I'm tempted to just elope and not let any of you be a part of our happiest day. This is it, guys. You have 3 days to respond to our evites or we're deleting you off of Facebook, and good luck keeping up with our lives then. Nice. And don't get me started on the registry. Only the cheap stuff is gone. I swear I thought I had better friends. Blank and I are asking you to reconsider.
I bet they got 0 RSVPs after that. Okay, first of all, you wonder why people don't want to spend $3 grand to go to your wedding, okay? How you keep them updated is by posting on Facebook, so, all right? I already don't like this person, just in general. What? All of this? Only the cheap stuff is gone. Yeah, because they're already spending $3 grand to go to your wedding. Oh, sorry, $2 grand because you switched it to be, you know, within everyone's reach. Like, that's insane. People are crazy. Also, the whole point of, well, not the whole point, but like part of having a destination wedding is like only having your closest friends and family who are willing to spend $3 grand to come to your wedding, right? Like, that's the whole point. I don't know, 150 people for a destination wedding? That's insane. I could never plan that.
No way.
Catherine Gannon, I hope I said that right. It might be Gannon. Cake-tastrophy. I ditched my bridezilla fiance at the altar after finding out she'd secretly forced my mates to pay for a $7,000 cake, I believe that is. I'm assuming that's a $7,000 cake, and if that's the case, that's insane. One ex-fiance has told how he walked out on his bride-to-be at their wedding after he found out she coerced her friends into paying for their $7,000 cake. The former groom said that his fiancée started to show her true colors as the big day got closer, and she got more and more demanding. He dodged a bullet in a good way, because like if she's already this demanding and whatnot, then like who knows how she'll be 10 years down the road when you've been married for 10 years and you're kind of stuck in this marriage or whatever. I don't know, that's kind of, can we just talk about the $7,000 wedding cake though? Like, I think the most I've ever had a family member pay for a cake, or I've ever seen a family member pay for a cake, is like maybe $500, $600. $7,000, definitely nothing over $1,000. Like, I'm really thinking about it now. I just want to know what that wedding cake looked like, and it had to have tasted like the best wedding cake in the world, because there's no other way I'd be paying $7,000 for a cake unless it wasn't the prettiest, biggest, and most delicious wedding cake in the world. Like, absolutely not.
I need you to make a custom centerpiece for each of the 20 tables. Heart emoji. If each one could be a separate Disney villain, I would die. Oh, and could you also do a cake topper? Question mark. OMG, I'm flattered. But wait, the wedding is next week. That's not enough time for me. Yeah, it's next week, but we figured they can't be that long to make, right? I'm assuming not, since she just said that that's not enough time. I would maybe see like how much time that is, like how much she could make in that time, and then go from there. Maybe figure something out. People are weird. It's like always weird when people want things on like a time limit that you just like, you literally said you can't do. You're like, no, that won't work. And they're like, but I really want it. I'm like, okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. Me too. That would be great. My business would be thriving if I could do that much in that short amount of time. Don't you think? How many more orders could I get completed if I could just cut my timeline right in half? You know? People are weird. They just want miracles to happen for them.
The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Wait a second, wait. The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. Never mind that it was her third marriage and that the first two ended due to her own infidelity. Well, marriage number 3 ended the same way, but at least the groom and his friend worked past it and are still best friends. Yo, like, no. And frankly, like, you know what, I want to put this on the bride, and it is, it obviously is, but if you're the groom, and she's doing that, and you're looking at her history and being like, hey, well, you cheated on him, you're kicking my best friend out of my wedding too, this is my wedding as well. No. Big red flags.
Being maid of honor and telling the bride you don't know if you or others can spend $1,000 on her bachelorette party. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, yeah. I think it's pretty reasonable that not everybody is willing to spend or has the money. Like, even some people would be willing to spend it if they have it and they just don't have it. Like, how insane is that? You know what I mean? And you're gonna be ungrateful? No. And they got uninvited, not even just demoted. They got uninvited and blocked. Talk about entitled, man. You didn't want to go to the wedding anyway. It wasn't worth your $1,000 after all.
I had already been to 3 dress fittings with a bride when at the last minute she scheduled a 4th fitting for herself. On the same day, my sister was coming into town. I told the bride that we were having a family dinner, and she responded that I needed to make her the priority instead. Bridezilla behavior. When I told her I couldn't just drop everything, she told me that in that case, I was no longer required to be a bridesmaid. Holy don't swear. I didn't even get an invitation to the wedding. Oh my God. That is unbelievable entitled behavior. That is like spoiled little kid throwing a tantrum at their 6th birthday behavior. What? I get that you want your wedding to be beautiful. You want your wedding to be this big moment. You know, for some people, the wedding, it's something they've thought about their whole life. They've really fantasized about it. But you don't get to treat people like that.
So, maid of honor fired. By the way, I'm having so much fun like putting my spin on like the attitude that I think that these people had. I've been messaging our group chat for helping with planning some stuff and the wedding shower, etc., and they will read it and never reply, which is super frustrating. That's it? I feel like I need more from that one. I mean, yeah, if you're not replying, like maybe you're too busy for the maid of honor duties, which is fair because like that's a lot of stuff. Maid of honor is expected to do a lot of stuff sometimes. What's the time limit we're giving her to reply? You know, maybe she's at work. I need to know more about this one.
10 years ago, Sako said an old friend of mine called off his wedding because he found out she effed some dude at her bachelorette party the weekend before. Hold on. He waited until the day of the wedding to call it off because he wanted her to have to explain it to her family, most of whom flew into town for the wedding. You guys, that is wild. Oh my God. I'm really sitting here like, whoa, like an old friend of mine called off his wedding because he found out she effed some dude at her bachelor party the weekend before. Girl, I am all for having a good time, but that is doing too much. You are getting married. It's not no more, let's have one last final night. No. You are a taken woman. You cannot do that. And then the fact that he had the patience and he was so petty, which like kind of deserved, but still, he had the patience and was so petty to wait until the wedding to call it off so she could tell her family who flew in to see this wedding why he wasn't getting married to her because she cheated on him. That is crazy.
Ladies, engagement ring / wedding ring, $1,800. I'm selling this because my girlfriend didn't like it. I designed it myself. It's appraised for $2,500. No lowball offers will be considered. It comes certified. I have all the paperwork to prove it. That's so sad. What the hell? Can I see the ring? Designed it himself too? So much effort. Oh, wow, I could cry. Aww, that's so nice. Why wouldn't she like it? What do you mean? That's so rude. I feel bad. I'm just sad now. That's so sad. I hope that he sold the girlfriend with the ring. No. Even if somebody gave me a ring and I didn't like it for whatever spoiled ass reason, do you think that I would ever say that out loud? No.
Deleted 6 years ago said, a guy I knew did this. He was a nice, laid-back guy marrying a toxic person. I can't get into the details because I didn't know him too well, but apparently his friends had been telling him to break it off from the beginning. That's always a red flag, but okay. They had a final intervention for him the morning of the wedding and they finally convinced him to just leave. He showed up at this festival I was at during what was supposed to be his wedding. I saw him and said, hey man, aren't you getting married today? And he had this kind of faraway look and said, yeah, that's not happening anymore. LOL. Wait, hold on. Can you just imagine like you're friends with somebody and they're meant to be getting married and you just see them pop up at a festival one day and you're just like, yo, like, aren't you supposed to be at like your wedding? And it's like, not happening anymore. Like what, how do you respond to that? What conversation goes on from there? Because that's wild to me. I don't know. I'm really thinking about, oh, whoops. I'm really thinking about it and I'm like, damn, like that's kind of wild. It's like, oh yeah, that's not happening anymore.
Hey everyone, has anyone received any wedding gifts in the past that were a slap in the face? How did you deal with it? Just that right there already is more than enough. My partner and I had a very exclusive wedding, all inclusive, and the focus were our guests. Our best friend, husband, and kids knew this, and they gifted us 2 Kmart towels, a total value of about $10. This hurt us a lot as it was a slap in the face. We don't know how to deal with it. Any suggestions? Okay, so you made them go to an all-inclusive first of all, which like costs money. They probably had to travel somewhere. Anyways, maybe it's all they can afford, question mark? Be thankful they wanted to be there to celebrate your special day and focus on the qualities in their personalities rather than the material items they may or may not have given you. Yeah, 100%. Is there any other comments? Hope somebody's like, your karma? Exactly. Oh, I can't see that bottom one. Oh, are you actually serious? It's not about what you get out of it. It's about celebrating with, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Literally, like, people go to weddings and don't bring a gift. Like, I don't know, I'm already here. I already spent money coming here in the first place. Most people do. Weddings cost other people money too. Oh, man. And what do we do about it? They gave you towels. Everyone needs towels, even a Kmart towel. The 40 answers and 12 reactions really says a lot. That's how you know that things are bad.
You know what? I shouldn't have asked.
She had a bachelorette party the same weekend as my birthday, but we weren't allowed to do anything for my birthday on the trip, not even mention it. Well, on my actual birthday, some of my friends got some balloons and a little cake from the hotel. They tried to keep it a secret, but Bridezilla came into the room, saw everything, went completely silent, then walked out, pissed. Well, Bridezilla, I will not be attending your wedding anymore. Why can this not be a joint affair right now? It's like, oh yeah, also my birthday, like you're getting married. Hopefully that only happens once, you know? So it's like, yes, I understand. Like, this is the big thing that we're doing, but my birthday comes along once a year. Like, can we not get a few shots, celebrate, and have some cake while you're doing that? No, 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 no.
Someone bit the DJ because he refused to play a certain song. Oh God. Sometimes they don't want to play Jail Part 2. I don't know what to tell you. Been there, experienced it. It's tragic, but they're the DJ, unfortunately. Oh, someone bit the imagine biting someone. Just leave it at that. No reason. Just imagine biting another human being. Are you a baby? My twin asked me to be her maid of honor, but told me I had to grow my hair out. That's so funny. Well, what did you expect your twin to do? They're not gonna listen to you. Gosh, no, they're your twin. Twins live for just bothering each other, really. Man, twin connection is just crazy. My little brother and sister are twins, and they're just like, I don't know, 2 peas in a pod, man. I love it. Twins are very cool. You got any twins in your life? Let me know. Identical twins? Crazy.
I was pregnant and was asked to be in a family member's wedding, which was 4 weeks from my due date. Well, I went out of state to visit my significant other's family when I was 6 months pregnant, and I received a scathing group email from her, accusing me of not being committed to the wedding because I was out spending money on a pointless vacation and baby stuff, instead of ordering my dress. At that point, I knew I needed to get, girl, really? At that point, I knew I needed to get out. So I replied all that it would probably be best if I dropped out as a bridesmaid, and her sister-in-law, who was also pregnant, by the way, chimed in saying, "Don't bother. We all know you got pregnant on purpose as an excuse to not be a committed member of this family." That is definitely why someone chooses to bring a life into this world. The only reason why you could possibly conceive of having a child is to skirt out on family stuff.
She's right, I had my second kid just for the vacation.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to skip Thanksgiving, and the easiest way to do that is to spend 9 months carrying a human being inside my body. I'm glad these are just stories, because if I had to associate faces with these, I think I would blow a blood vessel.
Dilemma of the day. Oh no. I'm a bridesmaid for a friend, and she has asked the bridal party to cut all of our hair to the same length. Fine, I can do that. Nope, not a chance. I'd already be out at that point. And dye our hair too. I'm a blonde and she wants it to be a dark brown, and I really don't want to do that. Is it selfish to say no? No, it is not selfish to say no. And that's an insane thing to ask somebody. I would actually cutting, you're fine. The craziest part is that you're fine with all the same length. Like, no lady, this isn't the Rockettes. Like, what do you want from me? No, I would be like, no, I'm fine just being a guest. Wear whatever they want, just spend less money. You don't have to do a bunch of weird activities and weird photos. You just hang out. No thanks. Oh my God, all right. Whew. Anyway, to secure your spot in our wedding party, the following things will be required. Before I even read more of this, securing your spot just seems like it's already like entitled language, you know what I mean? I do understand, like, yeah, for sure, you gotta like commit to the role. I agree with that. But there's just something about the language of you have to do these things to secure your spot. Like it's some sort of like VIP thing, and they should be like lucky for being in your wedding party, you know? You will sign a contract that holds you legally responsible for meeting all of our requirements and says that if you don't, you will be legally held to reimbursing us for the time we wasted and the stress of causing problems. Lady, I don't think I'm gonna be in your wedding party if there's like a threat of being sued. Because what if you just have a bad time and then you feel like suing? Also, I'm not signing a legal contract to be in your wedding party, you weirdo. That's so weird. That's weird behavior. Bridezilla's mother telling me not to buy eyeshadow for a wedding 8 months away. Oh good, Jeffree Star is dropping a purple themed collection. I was thinking I had too much money. The glitters. Don't buy purples for the wedding, love. Everyone in neutral shades got you booked in with makeup artist. It has nothing to do with the wedding, I just love Jeffree Star. Also, I shouldn't be booked with the makeup artist. I am hair only. Imagine just trying to, you know, put a thing on Facebook being like, whoa, really excited for this new eyeshadow palette. And then somebody's like, ooh, not for the wedding. No, I know that you would probably already be buying makeup for the wedding, and I know you were gonna go for bright purple. Also, if you want to go for bright purple, do it. You're wearing a white dress. You can wear any makeup on your eyes and it's gonna look great. It'll blend right in. Why do people want to tell other people what to do on their wedding day? If you want to wear a purple dress, wear a purple dress. Who cares? Who cares? Also the glitters. I know, we're not here for Jeffree Star, but we, you know, the palette. We're talking about makeup here, okay? I know Jeffree Star is very polarizing, to say the least, but.
My brother left his fiance a week before the wedding. Basically, as soon as he proposed, all she cared about was the wedding. I know a lot of girls who are like that. Like, they get really caught up in the whole, like, wedding and the ceremony and how it's gonna go and how perfect it has to look to everybody who's attending. And I know a lot of people who get all up in their head talking about my wedding has to be the most perfect wedding ever. It has to be better than everybody else's wedding, da 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 da. And I just think that's crazy. Like, I feel like you should be excited to just be celebrating your love and your life with the person that you love and having the people who you love and care about there with you. But again, that might just be me. He wanted a very small wedding and she wanted a huge one. See? I had a feeling. She was also very religious. Her father is a preacher and he was not at all. She told him she wanted to become a deacon in her father's church and he told her no, he didn't want to do that. Pretty much they were disagreeing on everything up to that point. Finally, he called it off. He said it was the hardest thing he's ever had to do, but he knew he made the right decision. I kind of agree with this one. I feel like if he was going down a path of like, he was questioning the relationship and he felt like he wasn't sure if they were going to work out in the future because they were disagreeing on so much, I feel like he did make the right decision. Even though sometimes you have to make hard decisions, I feel like a lot of the times those are good decisions to make because he's probably in a healthy or happy relationship, or even if he's not, because relationships don't necessarily have to deem your worth, at least he learned from this experience and he can apply that to any relationship that he gets into next, whether that's with a friendship or a romantic relationship or anything. So I don't know, I feel like hats off to this guy. Well, hats off to Biscuitful's brother because it's not actually him, but yeah.
My mother-in-law wore a wedding dress to my wedding. Oh, and mother-in-law too. Not even like, because if it was your own mother, at least you could just like, you know, not that you should ever be mean to your mother, but like that you could just like rip her a new one. But like your mother-in-law is like, I mean, you still can, but it's just a little bit of a different story. That's insane. Well, at that point, you'd be like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know. I can't kick her out because like, then my husband's gonna hate me now because it's his mom, but like, he also probably went to kick her out because that's just stupid. Like, people are like, don't wear white. This lady wore a whole wedding dress. That's crazy. And also just weird. That's weird. My ex crashed my wedding. She showed up and I had to have security kick her out because she wouldn't leave and my wife was fuming. Rightfully so. 3 years later, when she got married, I was there. I brought 2 friends and we made a scene. Revenge sucks. We did also get kicked out, but whatever. I wanted to ruin her day like she ruined mine. That is a level of petty that, listen, might be an unpopular opinion, but I aspire to be that petty. And that's what happens. Actions have consequences. I was gonna say mistakes have consequences, but that wasn't a mistake. You decided to do that. Actions have consequences, and sometimes those consequences come 3 years later. Are you even a bride if you don't have a presentation slides and briefing for your bridesmaids? Yeah. Yeah, you are still. I mean, it's cute. It's cute. She's setting her expectations. As long as she's not going overboard, like, this could be very fun and funny, you know? Like, I would give my friends a PowerPoint presentation on something silly if they wanted. So, you know, this could be a really fun, funny, cute idea. As long as you're not being rude, essentially. As long as you're just being regular and making it fun and funny. But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, these are all my plans and here's a silly way for me to present it to you. Because like, people need to know what you want and what your dates are and what you're looking for and all of that stuff, you know?
The bride stopped talking to me immediately after her wedding because I had a terrible cold the day of her wedding and had to go rest in my room halfway through setting up her wedding decorations, which we bridesmaids made without her help. Well, yeah, you're so inconsiderate. You just had to get sick. You couldn't have a strong immune system. You couldn't be popping vitamin 12 all day and keep a virus out. You are just so inconsiderate. You should have been down there and you should have been spreading whatever sickness or cold you had to everybody in the wedding party. That's what a good friend would have done. God, the nerve of some people. The nerve.
I'm getting married in 4 months. One of the bridesmaids have put on a foot of weight since I've asked her. How do I tell her nicely that she needs to take a few runs around the block daily? I don't want a fat heifer to ruin my wedding photos. I'm so pissed off. They know how much this wedding means to me and she just doesn't give a Don't even know what to say about this one. That's f***ed up. I hope this friend first of all saw this first. I hope that friend has way better friends, and I hope whoever this is had a terrible wedding. I wish that on somebody. Yep, I did. And I don't even care if that's rude, I mean it. The mother of the groom literally got up, pushed the bride out of the way, and told the groom, the bride's not good enough for you. I set you up on 8 dates this month, and they're all perfect. And then she continued to drunkenly scream at them. It was especially crazy because the families had been friends for decades. What do you mean it was especially crazy because of that? I'm like, the whole thing is insane. The mother of, what the heck? Oh gosh. Why do people think the wedding is the time to speak up? Assuming this person got married in their late 20s, early 30s, you had all of that time to tell them who you think that they should marry, and you chose their wedding day at the wedding? Just seems like you had a large window of opportunity, and you chose the worst time. I'm a big diva. 4 years ago, they got an award. Also, just like ironic nickname for what we're talking about right now, you know? Or like screen name. Imagine, that's what your friends call you as a nickname. I'm a big diva. Planner here. Okay, they're a wedding planner. I've seen some shit. Bride invites ex-boyfriend to wedding because, quote, he's just a really good friend. During reception, her husband of 2 hours goes to the bathroom. She plants a kiss on him. Notices I saw and promptly reminds me to mind my business. If somebody was like, mind your business before I even said anything, I would be like, well, now I'm not going to because you annoyed me. At the end of the night, catering informed me they hadn't settled their bill. If they didn't get payment that night, there would be an additional fee charged. I run outside and let them know before they drive off. 2 days later, I get a call from groom who informs me the bride is extremely upset with my unprofessionalism and wants a refund. Yeah. Good luck. She wasn't happy that I made a scene by running outside to tell them about the bill in an effort to save them from additional charges. I asked him if he was aware of the scene she made when she kissed ex-BF on the dance floor while he went to the bathroom. He hung up. Yeah, I mean, listen, I would have told him even before that. I would have told him about the bill and the kiss at the same time, okay? Yeah, mind your own business. How will you mind your business? If you were minding your business, you wouldn't be cheating on your literal brand new husband, and also, you'd be settling that bill, crazy ass. People are entitled. Dang, I wonder what happened. I would have liked to be a fly on the wall for what happened after that.
I was the maid of honor for my brother's wedding, in which he and his bride told me they had hired a professional photographer for the wedding. So I went above and beyond to make myself up for the photos, only to find out that they hadn't actually hired a photographer. They expected me to take all the wedding photos. I'm not even a photographer, not even close.
Not even close. Not even a little bit.
That is awful. Why would they tell you they hired a professional photographer if it was just you? Were they just trying to gas you up and they were doing it in the single worst way possible? Oh my god. Oh my god, my god, my god.
Bro, so Shay talking about she want all the groomsmen to have a fade so everybody can look clean, cut in the pictures and everything. So what are you asking me? You want me to cut my dreads, which I've been growing for 7 years to be in the wedding? Yeah, bro, imagine asking somebody to cut their dreads off and then get a fade. Like, no, absolutely not. Because it's not even the person that you're there for. Absolutely not. Nope, sorry. Bard lover. Not a bridesmaid, but a witness to one. The bride got walked out on by her entire bridal party except her maid of honor. Of course it was because no one loved her and everyone wanted to ruin her day, not because she ripped a bridesmaid's dress from the neck down in an open area because it was too white. It was the dress the bride insisted on all of the maids wearing. Of course. Absolutely, of course. I mean, why would it not be something absolutely insane like that? Also, just like the force to rip a dress, you gotta be angry. And if I was that bridesmaid, I don't think she would have gotten that far as to rip my dress. You know what I mean? Somebody approaching me? No ma'am. Also, how did the maid of honor stick around? I would have left too. I would have been like, oh, no thanks. Sorry, see you later.
My wife's best friend is a florist, and she gifted her service to her friend's wedding. Well, afterward, the bride and her ma got pissy at her because she didn't give them an additional gift. Let's conveniently forget the $1,000 in floral products she gifted to the wedding. It's a rift that has never been healed. Yeah, that's annoying. The bride and her mom, because she didn't give them enough presents. $1,000 just wasn't enough presents. Every single one of these sounds like a spoiled 8-year-old, man. This is wild to me how people get Bridezillas, man, no kidding.
Ex-girlfriend of the groom showed up at the wedding uninvited and drunk. He broke up with her 10 years earlier and has not seen her in over 8 years. She was loud and saying very perverted things about what she wanted to do to the groom. The bride steps up, goes all out, and punches the ex in the face, knocks the ex out cold. I want everyone to know that I would 1000% do the exact same thing. Also, what a great wedding story. You KO'd somebody on your wedding day in your nice fancy dress? Money well spent, that's all I'm saying. I'd pay more to see that than I would a Jake Paul fight. I once worked in a bakery and we had this bride freak out that her cake wasn't right and proceeded to smash it to bits with her fist. You know, like people do for like a 1-year-old on their birthday, like a cake smash vibe, but this is just a full-grown woman having a tantrum. Nice. She smashed the wrong cake. Oh my God, I didn't even read that. I was like, this is already too much. Turns out there's more. Like, what the f? Anyway, the cops allowed her to wash her hands before placing her in handcuffs, probably. I felt bad for the future husband and the couple that ordered said cake. People are cray-cray, yeah. Like, what if there's not time to remake their cake now? Oh my God, that'd be devastating. Just because some Karen needed to freak out. Ugh, I hope she had to pay for both cakes. Her own and the couple's, and then she also got arrested. That's what happens. Dang, hope it was worth it. Over a cake. How'd you get arrested? Oh, I threw a grown-up tantrum over a cake, because that's appropriate.
After the ceremony was over, the bride informed us that in order to save money, the wedding party would not be served a meal along with the rest of the guests. She said, "You already had the privilege of being in my wedding. What more can you ask for?" I love that undeserved confidence. I love that incredibly smug aura.
So smug. Like he thought it was funny, like this.
And by love, I mean I actually hate that. Come on, man. I came to the wedding. You don't think I want a plate of chicken or fish? You don't think I'm hungry too? I had to stand in a wedding for like an hour and a half. I'm probably working up a real hunger. Oh, I don't want to go to any of these people's weddings.
A drunk ex-uncle, ex-uncle? Holy. A drunk ex-uncle showed up to my cousin's wedding and made her dance with him, interrupting the bride and groom's first dance. He was not invited. Oh, that's so bizarre. That's very weird. Apparently, if I ever get married, I need to hire a security team because everyone's just showing up at these weddings. Orbital cheese. Ew, they're little things of cockroach. I don't like that. Wedding band member here. Oh, that's a different point of view we don't usually get. Had a bride flip her shit at me and my bandmates because her instruments weren't white or salmon colored to fit in with the decorations. Oh no, how could they do that to her personally? And she was saying we would ruin the photographs. Absolutely. I completely agree. That makes a lot of sense. Even though I was playing during the reception and all the photos were already taken. Oh, what a surprise. A sunburst jazz bass, blue Stratocaster, and a red drum set aren't going to ruin your pictures, darling. I could not agree more. Also, if anyone was like, oh, that wedding sure did look nice, but the instruments, I would say, are you insane? So like, wouldn't you rather just have an instrument that sounds good instead of like a salmon colored guitar that sounds like shit? It makes no sense. Make it make sense, people. Orbital cheese. I'm still on that, by the way.
The final straw for me was when the bride demanded to see the toast I'd written so she could edit it. She ended up rewriting it all together, and I ended up skipping her wedding. Why even ask for a toast then? Why not just write out the script? Why not just send out the script for your wedding if that's what you're looking for? Let's keep going, man.
Let's calm down.
You're not gonna ruin my
You are not going to say my son has flaws. Wow.
Everybody has flaws, and that's why I love them. You can leave, Judy.
Like you don't have flaws.
You can get out of my wedding now.
I'm not leaving. That dress you're wearing, I paid for.
I feel so bad. That bride looks so upset. I mean, like, rightfully so. But like, oh my God. Again, you have so much time to air your grievances. Why now? Why when we're at the altar? When we're saying I do is not the time to bring up your opinion. Okay, deleted. Last weekend, a bride strides into a gorgeous rented chapel 4 hours early while 30 people are praying in her super short makeup robe, freaks out because one table was not set up at the moment, picks up a chair in front of everyone and throws it in a trash can. Yep, imagine. I mean, first of all, it's a church, lady, or a chapel, so it's gonna be used for other things. Also, throwing a chair in the... Imagine! Everyone's just trying to have a nice, like, time, just praying, good vibes, whatever. And she's like WWE. What a psychopath. I would have been like, you can't use the chapel anymore. Sorry. You broke the rules already, so find somewhere else to have your wedding today. Good luck.
The final straw for me was when the bride demanded to see the toast I'd written so she could edit it. I mean, I don't know, the last time I checked, your toasts are supposed to be, heartfelt. Even if you write them beforehand, because I know a lot of people run off script and they, start pouring out their heart and they're like, you know what? I really love you. We're not gonna use a script. I've seen people even like throw away papers of their toast and be like, I'm just gonna improvise, you know what I mean? The fact that the bride wants to edit it, that's a little bit questionable. It's giving Instagram model. It's giving, it's giving a lot of things that I'm not gonna say. Because I feel like it's low-key gonna be a little disrespectful. Y'all aren't gonna know my face. I'm a new host on Central. Please be nice. Please welcome me with kindness.
My best friend just got kicked out of a wedding party because she couldn't afford to spend the $1,500 to go to the bachelorette party. The bride told her to take out a credit card to pay for it. Oh, bitch. Didn't mean to. You pay for it. You pay for it if it's that important. You're clearly throwing money around. If anyone ever asked me to spend $1,500 on top of I can't even talk. I can't even form a sentence. This stuff is making my blood boil.
During his speech, the divorced father of the groom started going on and on about how much better his new wife was compared to his old wife. Oh my God. Sir, this is not your wedding, okay? Save that for your wedding. Well, I guess you already got married, but anyway, you had your chance to talk about how great your new wife is, okay? Wow, what a mess. I almost cursed. My apologies. What a mess. Girl dressed up as bride and crashed her ex's wedding. Ooh, would not recommend. Oh no, this is so tragic. Oh no. Oh no, the bride storms off. Man, if somebody did this to me, it would be on site. I'm spending all this money, all this time, all this effort for you to do this? No. I would not put up with that. I don't think. I don't think I'd like that very much. That bride handled that a lot better than I think I would have.
She reached out after the wedding to ask me how to return my gift for store credit. Bro. Hold on a minute, wait. We gotta turn this off for a second, you guys. Listen, I have worked in retail for a really long time, and I'm telling you right now, if anybody whose wedding I've showed up to ever came to me afterwards and asked me how to return the gift that I gave her for store credit, you're asking to never speak to me again, because wow, the audacity is insane. Like, can you imagine? You thought of this really nice, well thought out gift for someone, and all of a sudden they hit you back with a text, they call you and they're like, yo, like, how do I return this for store credit? What do you mean? I cannot. That is hilarious, you guys.
Girlfriend is pissed that her boyfriend danced with a bridesmaid she apparently doesn't like. Imagine fighting like that at all. It's just weird. But like, imagine fighting like that in a public place. No, screaming, crying like that. I don't even like that at home, let alone out in public.
The bride's father had a heart attack during her wedding, and as he was leaving on a stretcher, he yelled, "How could you ruin my wedding like this?" You know what that's giving me? That's giving me I don't love my father. Because I'm just kidding. But I mean, for real, if your father is having a heart attack on your wedding day, I would like to assume, or at least let me not assume, let me speak on personal experiences. I would like to say that I would rush after my father's aid. I feel like my husband would be standing at the altar waiting for me to get back from the hospital, because you best believe I'm hopping in the ambulance with my dad. Like, what do you mean, how could you ruin my wedding? Girl, that is not it. I'm sorry.
She is very angry. All right. Oh, dang. She's just angry. She's not having a good day. Doesn't like it. Something went wrong. I don't know what, but I just see the arrow that says she is very angry, and I believe it. Well, hope the rest of the evening got better after this.
Stop disrespecting these women and asking them to marry you with 1-carat rings. This sounds a little judgy, but okay. If you cannot afford a ring, 3 carats or better, approximately $3,500, you cannot afford a wife. You guys, y'all tell me in the comments below how you feel about that one, because I feel like that's a lot of audacity. I don't know. I feel like you really shouldn't be determining what or who deserves a partner or spouse based on how much money they're making or how much they spend on a ring. I think that's really superficial, and I think that's really shallow. Personally, I don't know how anybody else feels about that. I feel like obviously you want to set some boundaries. You want to make sure you're dating somebody who's living a steady income, but obviously not everybody is able to control the way that their life works or their life circumstances. And so I feel like saying that, especially without knowing people's situation, is really messed up.
Okay, POV, you just got married. Nobody bought the Dyson vacuum that you registered for, but you got a $348 gift card from Costco because you booked your honeymoon through their website. So you end up buying it for something like that. Okay, I don't like this already. I don't even want to watch this after just reading this. It's really entitled. I mean, yeah, that's what happens. Did you put other things on your registry, or was there only a Dyson vacuum on there? Because for sure, I'm not just gonna go for the vacuum that costs $500. It's a lot of money, all right? It's a little entitled, don't you think?
It's like a reward.
So you end up buying it for $150. I mean, there you go. You still got a Dyson vacuum for $150, so worked out.
The bride was super controlling about RSVPs. If people hadn't responded before the RSVP date came, she would have had a panic attack. Let me stop you right there. Why are you so stressed about your wedding that you're going into a panic attack over RSVPs? My sister is an event planner, right? So I get it. RSVPing can be stressful, and I have watched her melt down 1 or 2 times. Not literally melting down, but like she's gotten a little upset. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? I don't blame her. It is stressful. But a panic attack? Like, guys, let's be for real. A panic attack is serious. What are we doing? If you have to be having a panic attack over an RSVP, you need to be rethinking your guest list. That's all I'm gonna say. For example, if the RSVP date was October 1st, she was panicking. Sorry. If the RSVP date was October 1st, she was panicking by September 20th. Please, you guys, that took me out just now. So the bridesmaids had to call people and tell them the bride was having a panic attack because they hadn't responded yet. Same time, having the bridesmaids call the people who haven't RSVP'd, telling them that she's having a panic attack. That's it for me. That is an official way to make sure I do not show up at your wedding, okay?
Oh my gosh. Man, people really be out here letting one song ruin their whole special day? Like, look at everything around you. Look at yourself. Like, everything there looks so beautiful and like a literal fairy tale. Like, just chill on the song, you know? Who cares? Literally, I mean, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe it's like there's a reason it's so important, but it's like, just get him to play the song, you know what I mean? Be like, no, I'm gonna sit here, but I'm gonna be happy still. I just don't want her to be sad on her wedding day. Today I became Mrs. Blank. The wedding was simple but memorable. She posted this photo. She talked about it being simple but memorable, and I like that attitude. Would I want somebody wearing like something so casual to my wedding? Maybe not, but that's my own prerogative, okay? Maybe she's fine with that, and that's also fine. It is fine to just have a chill wedding. I see nothing wrong with this. Oh, is he the groom? I mean, if that's would I want my groom to wear? Imagine if Taylor showed up in that outfit to our wedding. I would have some words for the man, that's for sure. But like, listen, maybe they talked about it. I'm sure that this wasn't like just the surprise of the century. I do feel like, yes, for sure, you should put in some more effort, but like, if that's what makes them both happy, then all the best to them, well wishes, you know? The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted her entire wedding party to be pure. First of all, what does that mean? Because it doesn't seem very pure to kick out your soon-to-be husband's best friend because of your beliefs and the way that you want him to live his life. That seems like the opposite of pure. That seems quite rude, if you ask me. Also, that's a red flag for the person who's about to marry her, in my opinion. Bridezilla moment when no one wants to cooperate and the alpha male awakens. All right. I mean, really all I saw was her just be like, come on, let's get these pictures over with. But I didn't see anything too crazy in that one. Oh man, it's just getting pictures done is annoying. It like takes a while and like for sure worth it, you know, 100% worth it, but it can be a lot. It can be very draining to get a bunch of photos taken. So, and you're hungry and stuff. Not a reason to like act like a Karen or anything, but like you get what I'm saying. I went to a wedding in which the father of the groom died of a massive heart attack. Well, the bride threw a fit and wouldn't let the groom leave with his father. Instead, she insisted that the wedding go on and not ruin her night. Girl, first of all, I have some bad news for you. That day of your anniversary is never gonna be your anniversary anymore. So you have to think about that. Somebody died, lady. You could get married 100 times over and whatever, who cares? The man died. What the heck? These entitled Karens really be out here thinking that their wedding is more important than somebody's dad's life? I would get a divorce. Because at that point, if it's the reception, I'm assuming you're probably already married at that point, so I would get a divorce immediately. An annulment, you can get annulled. The girl who doesn't think she's a bridezilla, uh-oh.
Hey, why are you guys taking pictures without me? I mean, you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me. You're lucky you were even invited. Okay, smile. Hey, I need you to go to my cousin Jamie and borrow her engagement ring for a little bit and then just hide it. If I hear one more person ask about her engagement story tonight, I'm gonna effing lose it. Okay, thanks. Ugh.
I wonder if she's like a wedding planner or something and just sees a lot of drama. Or maybe she just has been to a lot of weddings where there's a lot of shady brides.
This mother-son song doesn't end soon, I'm gonna end it myself. I wanted to cut it all together, but Mark insisted, so wife of the year, I kept it in. He's so lucky to have me. Excuse me, I'm not sure why people are dancing already because I haven't danced yet, so please remove all the small children from the dance floor. Once I've had my fun, then you guys can have yours too. Okay, thanks so much.
It was 10 degrees Fahrenheit in February and the bride insisted on outdoor photos without coats because we can't hide the dresses. Even the photographer told her no and she pitched a fit. Years later, she still complains about her bridesmaids ruined her wedding. how does that, no, lady, like, it's just like, don't have your freaking wedding in February if you wanna like get all these nice pictures. You know, that's why people have their weddings in the summer. Like, it's wedding season right now, you know? It's like, people like to have them at this time because they don't wanna have them in February because they don't wanna freeze off. So you know what? You did that to you.
A girl I went to high school with threw a fit and nearly called off her wedding because her florist couldn't find flowers that perfectly matched her lipstick. Wow, crazy. That's crazy. Imagine being like, oh, this thing that they make like in a lab. I mean, I can't believe you can't find anything that grows from the ground naturally that matches it. Like, this isn't paint. We're not at Home Depot. I bet the lipstick wasn't even good enough for that either. Do you think that anybody's gonna notice that? Oh, those flowers, they were close, but not quite a perfect match.
The bride was blonde and all the bridesmaids were brunette except me. So the bride asked me to dye my hair brown for the wedding because she wanted to be the only blonde. Okay, I mean, like, it's not as, I guess she asked, so it's not as ridiculous as like some of the other ones where they're demanding. It's still stupid and crazy. Like, it's still like, I don't know why your brain would even go there. But like, maybe if you were thinking like, oh, we could take such cool photos if like I'm, no, you know what, actually no, it's just weird. I was trying to justify it, I'm just like, well, like, that's just, you're thinking too much, lady.
Bridezilla wants fiance to have matching eyes in wedding. Am I the asshole for asking my fiance with heterochromia to wear contact lenses for our wedding photos? Yeah, you are. Oh, they got the poop knife word. That's so funny. Yeah, you are 1,000,000% asshole for that. First of all, why do you care? Second of all, are you marrying this person? So you have no problem with their eyes then, obviously. Because first of all, who has a problem with eyes? With somebody else's eyes? Where do these Karens find the time? I really don't understand. I'm shocked at this.
The final straw for me was when the bride demanded to see the toast I'd written so she could edit it. She ended up rewriting it all together and I ended up skipping her wedding. Like, I think I can understand it, like a toast just being like, hey, like just to tell you, I don't want to write this for you, but like my family, my grandparents are gonna be there, so like maybe leave that story out about like how we were doing that thing, which they wouldn't like, you know. I can understand something like that. But to go in, to edit it, to rewrite it, no. Like, you're lucky I'm taking the time to even write this for you at all, you know?
You should be grateful. Entitled Bridezilla cousin wants OP's wedding. Okay, am I the asshole for not letting my cousin borrow my wedding dress? No. What? That's not. You're not the asshole. I'm like surprised. Usually I see ones that are the asshole, but no, I don't think that's Polish at all. I'm so confused. I literally have nothing to say about this because I'm like, no, you're simply not. They can get their own wedding dress. That's really how it, borrow too. Not even pay for, borrow. My cousin's watching this right now.
My best friend left me out of her bridal party because I was overweight and her mother thought that would limit bridesmaids' dress choices and throw the wedding photos off. That's not your best friend anymore. Is what I gotta say about that. That's literally just not your best friend anymore. Like, if that is your best friend, then that just doesn't happen. And it did happen and I'm very sorry, and wow, they suck.
My friend asked me to literally cut my hair for her wedding, saying that it was too long and would take too long to do. Is she doing it? Because if not, I really don't understand where that's coming from. Also, saying that it was too long and it would take too long to do, I don't think that's like a real thing. What if she just had shorter hair but like had a lot of hair? Would you be like, can you get that thinned out for me? Man, like, what in the world? I just don't understand, especially when you're planning a wedding and then on top of all the other like regular day-to-day like life things you have to do, how you would find the time to be like, can you change your eyes and can you change your hair? And can you not live with your girlfriend? Like, how on earth do you have time to focus on so many other things? I don't know. It's just so busy. It's just too busy. Bride flips at bridesmaid's hair. Uh-oh, let's go.
Talking.
I'm not talking. You're the one who's making this whole thing a problem, and no one wants to be a part of it no more.
You're the one making it a problem. You're the one refusing to pit your hair up.
Are you done?
Pit your hair up. I'm stopping you because you're throwing a little bit.
Part of it.
This day isn't about you. This day is about me and Gil.
I'd rather have someone else.
I will chase your. Is it illegal to murder people on your wedding day?
This is fake, for sure. This is definitely fake, okay? Sometimes I have a hard time with the fake ones. I think, actually, Actually, I say that, but I think that I'm decent at spotting them. Sometimes I miss it because I want all these to be real, but I think that this one's fake. I mean, she was laughing. Also, like, why would anybody have a problem with her hair? It looks fine. You know? You never know. I also think that nobody should have a problem with somebody being like, hey, I just like don't think I can spend like over $1,000 on this one party. You know, I think people should be reasonable about that, but that's not the case.
My wife's best friend is a florist and she gifted her services to her friend's wedding. Well, afterward, the bride and her mom got pissy at her because she didn't give them an additional gift. Let's conveniently forget the $1,000 in floral products she gifted to the wedding. It's a rift that's never been healed. So hold up, they're not even paying? So my wife's best friend is a florist and she gifted her, oh, okay, so a friend's wedding, she gifted $1,000 of flowers and floral products. No, why? Like, why would you, I mean, like, that is such an incredible gesture, and then to get, dude, people are so entitled. How could you possibly be this entitled? If somebody literally was like, I'm just gonna give you $1,000 in flowers, I'd be like, oh my God, like, you are an angel with 2 halos. You know, like, I don't expect anything from you. I'd be getting them something. You know, I'd literally be getting them something as a gift to thank them for that. Like, get out of here.
As much as we would love for you to attend, sadly, our venue cannot accommodate everyone. We are sure to keep you in our hearts in this celebration of love. If you would like to congratulate the bride and groom rather than a registry, they are accepting money to aid in a beautiful honeymoon. See, this is what the other people should have done, but like to the people who are coming to their wedding, don't ask people to give you stuff when you don't invite them, you know? I just think it's like an even deeper wound to be like, yeah, sorry, you just didn't quite make the cut. Anyway, money please? So weird.
I couldn't attend my friend's last-minute destination wedding because I had to travel to visit my dad, who was dying of cancer, to handle hospice arrangements. She was pissed and tried to guilt trip me because I couldn't afford both plane flights. That was the end of our friendship. Yeah, that would definitely be it for me as well. Like, this is just not a person who, like, this is not a nice person. You know, it's like they have to be the center of attention at all times. And like, I get it, like your wedding's very important, but 1, it was last minute. 2, it was destination. And 3, her dad is dying of cancer. And like, just literally priorities, you know, like just priorities. Wow.
Captain Lamo. What a Reddit name. All right, sorry, I got close. Okay, so we're at the reception part of the evening. Mom is talking to bridesmaid and, brackets, no one knows what prompted this, says to her, quote, well, I guess it's a good thing you can't have kids, isn't it? Bridesmaid bursts into tears. What the heck? Oh gosh, oh gosh. Some people just like don't know not to say things, you know? Some people just don't have a filter. Some people don't think before they speak. That's the real issue. I was maid of honor for my friend's wedding. Here's a list. No one was allowed to wear heels because she didn't want anyone to be taller than her. She was already at least 3 inches taller than any girl at her wedding. There were 6 bridesmaids, including me, right? No one was allowed to wear false eyelashes except for her, because, you know, the big puffy white dress doesn't make you stand out enough. It's so true. That's insane. If somebody was like, no heels allowed, I would be like, no problem, man. No problem. I'd wear sneakers. No false eyelashes. Also no problem, but it's just crazy. It's just a little controlling. It's giving Bridezilla for sure. 2 moms got into a verbal argument. Then it became physical. I don't know who makes the accusation, but one said they're only getting married because she's knocked up. The tea. If I was at that wedding, again, I would feel good about the money I spent to be there. When it, like, even just being a guest, you know, it costs money. It's not a lot of money. I'm not saying it's like the cost of a wedding, but like, it costs money to go to someone's wedding normally. And again, I would say money well spent. Does anybody have popcorn? Pour another glass of wine. I'm ready for this argument. Better than most reality shows, I'm not gonna lie. Would I be the asshole if I refused to attend my cousin's wedding after she asked me to dye my ginger hair? No. I would just say, no, I'm not gonna do that. And then if she's like, well, then you can't come to the wedding, then that's you didn't not attend. You didn't refuse to attend. I mean, you clearly don't even want to go now, which is fine. I don't blame you at all for not wanting to go, because it's just strange and you have beautiful hair. Why do people ask people to dye their hair? Also, like, I know that some people ask because it's like crazy bright colors, like a crazy pink or bright blue or something, which I also still don't agree with, but at least I like can see the thought pattern behind it, if that makes sense. Not justifying it is stupid, but you get what I'm saying. But like something that's like a clearly natural color like this, so weird. My dad, okay, first of all, this Reddit username is steroid sandwich. My dad taking pictures at my brother's wedding. It doesn't sound bad, but he was getting in the way of the photographer my brother hired. Every pic he tried to take, my dad was right beside him, inching him out and pushing him out of the way. My brother and mom were both really pissed at him. I didn't realize, but that's apparently like a huge problem at weddings. Like huge. I'm gonna say, like, I'll probably never get married, but if I do get married, I'll say, like, guys, everyone's gonna get photos. Don't take your own, okay? I paid good money for somebody else to get these. I'll make sure you get one to post on your little Instagram. Don't you worry. I want everyone to see. Why did I spend all this money if no one's gonna see it? Don't worry. Me? Why did I spend all this money if no one's gonna see it? Everyone else in the world to get married to the person you love? I'm like, purely a publicity stunt. Just kidding. Just kidding, Taylor. One last thing, I'll be sending my Venmo and Cash App to the ones who haven't paid the $500 donation towards honeymoon in Hawaii. Love you guys, can't wait to be a wifey. Imagine the $500 donation. You can't accept donation. Like, that's just insane. $500. If you were like in lieu of gifts, you know, if you just like what you would spend on a gift, you want to like throw our way so that we can put it towards the honeymoon. Yeah, 100%. That is your prerogative. People usually get gifts at weddings. People are usually ready to spend a little bit of money anyway. So like, might as well do that. Definitely makes sense if you want to go on this crazy honeymoon to Hawaii. $500. Also, like, imagine how many people are you assuming would be at this wedding? And everyone gives you $500? Oh my gosh, that's like the most lavish trip I've ever heard of. Or it's not going to the honeymoon. Which is, I mean, I would rather have you be like, can you donate me $500 so I can pay my rent? But then I'd be like, why are you having a wedding? My cousin married a vapid idiot. The night before the wedding, at the rehearsal, she figured the flower girl had the same shoes as her in a much smaller size. She flipped her at 9 p.m., made the mother of the flower girl buy different shoes for her before the ceremony. That's what happens when you buy your shoes from Payless. Not much of a selection in white. Yikes, that could have been so cute and a nice sweet moment, but instead, she turned into a bridezilla, you know? Also, like, even if you did have a problem with it in whatever world, like, whatever, but there's just other ways to fix this problem. Like, there are other shoes that exist. You could have offered to buy her another pair of shoes. You could have just, like, nicely asked. You could have gone and gotten a new pair of shoes for yourself. Like, there's so many options, and just being an asshole, it should have been the last one. Bam-a-lamb. Number 5 from Bam-a-lamb. The usher was handing out little pamphlets, and as he did, would let every single person know that he had just gotten engaged recently. That's the sweetest thing in the world. Are you kidding me? I would love that. I would be so happy for him. Oh my gosh, I would love that. Honestly, I don't think I'd mind that. I think that I would be like, that's really, really nice and very, very cute. I'm glad he's excited. Come on, let the man live. It's supposed to be a happy day. It's better than somebody starting drama. It's better than somebody telling someone else that good thing you can't have kids, or somebody else saying, well, they're only getting married because she's knocked up. I'm like, yeah, this guy gets it. It's a day of happiness. We can all share the happiness. You know what I mean? I like that. That's so cute. Oh my gosh. Johnny Tremaine. My wife was extremely cranky and yelling at everyone all day because things weren't perfect. The funny thing is, her behavior was causing a lot of stuff to not be perfect, as that usually happens. The straw that broke the camel's back was when she threw a beer bottle at the DJ's head when he turned on a song she didn't like. Our marriage only lasted a year. I mean, I'm surprised that it lasted a year. Also, you can't throw things at people. I hope that DJ like sued her. I would have gotten her arrested on her own wedding day for throwing a beer bottle at my head, you psychopath. Absolutely not. At what point during that wedding, like when you're the person marrying this other person who's going crazy, at what point do you go, this seems like now it's a really bad idea? I'm just saying. My uncle got completely plastered at our open bar and then demanded the attention of the entire dance floor. Oh no. Everyone stopped and stared as he pulled his trousers all the way down, walked backwards, and called it the moonwalk. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no! And people want to be upset that the usher was telling people he got engaged as he handed out the pamphlets? I would be upset about this. This is something that you go, I knew we shouldn't have invited Uncle Gary. Oh, anybody got an Uncle Gary out there who would do something like this? Probably. There's gotta be someone. My cousin's wedding, the groom's drunk brother got into a fist fight with the bride's son during the reception, which was held on church property. Oh no, that is not good. That is not good. Honestly, I'll take drunk Uncle Gary over this. This video has just turned into like a would you rather. I would rather have Uncle Gary moonwalk than have people fighting, you know? Okay, so Slalomy sandwich. I read one on Hell of a Wedding of a bride who kept gaining weight and would scream each time the wedding dress fit wasn't the same as the previous fitting appointment, claiming that the store was switching out different dresses each time, ripping her off or something. Ugh, that would be crazy. Because as like a person who's trying to fit the wedding dress, first of all, that'd be really annoying to just have to keep doing the same thing over and over again. But also, like, how do you just like gently explain the reason why when somebody's like screaming at you? Because for sure at some point you have to be honest about those things, like she needs to wear a dress and the dress needs to fit on the day, for sure. And like there's no like shame in it, but it's just an awkward conversation to have. Dang. Also, that's just insane. Yeah, you're switching the dress out on me every time. Wouldn't it be so expensive for them to just have to get the same dress multiple times in different sizes? Uh-oh, when you fire a bridesmaid, I'm nervous. La 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 la. Photoshop. Uh-oh. What happened? We're not even getting the tea here. I want to know what happened. I mean, she's lucky that she was at the back and it made it easy to edit out, because dang, she was in the middle. You just can have a gap? That'll look weird. What happened? I want to know what happened between these two. There's some drama there. My mother was a church organist and attended many weddings. Very cool. I suppose the story that stands out was of the bride who, when asked, do you take this man, ... broke down and said, no, I can't. I don't love him, and ran out of the church. It was a smallish town. People found out that she had met somebody new, fallen hopelessly in love with him. Oh my gosh. And she waited till the altar? Like it's freaking Love is Blind or something? Like there's just so many other points and moments where you could say this. Why at the altar? Why waste everyone's time? Why publicly humiliate this person who's like clearly in love with you because you went out and were whatever, gallivanting around town and found somebody new to fall in love with? I can't, like, nobody can fault you for not being in love with this person and for finding a new relationship that you enjoy, but we can fault you for this infidelity and for the way that you handled the situation, and we will fault you for that, Miss Bridezilla. This is my blood sister. Feels great to have no one, not even my blood, have my back through this process. Mind you, my wedding is January 2024, far away still. And she continued to say how she's broke and lives paycheck to paycheck. I don't plan on having my bachelorette until October 2023. That is an entire year from now, and I felt like it was automatically shut down by my own sister. Very disappointing. Being broke is just an excuse for her eye rolling emoji. I already don't even want to read this text exchange because just like, seems insane. Okay. Also, this must be recent because I don't plan on having the bachelorette until October 2023. Right now, it's October 2022. So, Okay. Oh yeah, the fall festival is cool. Bachelorette party, Las Vegas, Nashville, New Orleans, Puerto Rico, Key West. Are you paying? ? Like, she just asked if you were paying. People are under no obligation to spend money on a holiday just to go to your bachelorette party. Sorry if somebody can't afford it, and you can. I don't know why you're getting mad that they can't afford it. Seems like you should just be counting your lucky ducks. During the mixed gender bachelor party, the bride-to-be got in a spat with the groom and slept with another guy. Wedding was off the next morning. They lost 10K plus. He took her back a couple of months later. Oh my gosh. Listen, it's not up to me to decide what people should and shouldn't do, but come on. You get in one fight before your wedding and you're sleeping with someone else, and then you lose $10,000, and then you go, you know what? Never mind. I couldn't. I would be so mad. $10,000? No, I could get like so many things for $10,000. No, couldn't be me. I'd be so pissed. I am pissed just looking at this.
The week leading up to the wedding, the temp for the big day, temp is temperature by the way. The week leading up to the wedding, the temp, meaning temperature, for the big day was forecast to be a high of 10 degrees Fahrenheit. February wedding, NEUS. Bride was insisting on outdoor photos without coats because we can't hide the dresses. Everyone, including the photographer, tells her, hell no. Day of, she pitches a fit when we refuse to do more than one quick photo. Okay. Afterwards, she stopped talking to 75% of the bridal party because of their refusal to accommodate her outrageous demands. To this day, years later, she still complains about how her bridesmaids ruined her wedding. You guys, that's crazy. First of all, if it was a February wedding, can we just talk about something real quick? Because our February weather down here is ridiculous, like -15 and -20 on a good winter, right? If you're asking me to be outside in the cold and you're mad that I don't want to take more than 1 or 2 photos, girl, that is on you. That is on you, because I am not gonna be standing outside freezing for you. I don't care if it's your wedding day. I just think it's funny that she stopped talking to more than half of the bridal party because they didn't want to accommodate for her.
Who am I to say? Just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean it's wrong. Bridezilla or photographerzilla? Man's got denied a plate and walked off. Hungry photographer deletes all photos and leaves after being denied food at a wedding. I mean, yeah. Are you just not gonna feed them? Do I think he should have deleted all of the photos if they're still paying him? Do I blame him for throwing a stink or whatever for not feeding him? I think that you should feed people who are working for hours on end, for sure. If they said that they weren't gonna feed him beforehand, then you should definitely be able to like bring snacks and stuff, because you need to eat. So both in the wrong a little in some ways. Photographer people out there, let me know. I could totally be wrong. I've never had a wedding before, so I don't know.
Bridezilla forbade the groom being in any I was about to say photographs. What is that? All right, let's try that one more time. Bridezilla forbade the groom from being in any photographs without her. Just as the title states, I used to be her MOH, and she was having a rant to me about how horrible, I think that's supposed to be to me. And she was having a rant to me about how horrible her future MIL was because she wanted a wedding photo of the groom with his 2 sisters. She thought it was disrespectful to her as the bride. I think if a bride is forbidding their husband / the groom from doing anything, I think that shows signs of a very toxic relationship. More specifically, it feels very controlling. I don't have any prior knowledge of what the relationship is like, so maybe that's normal, and maybe I'm reading too much into things, but that's low-key giving toxic. So yeah, just a little bit, not gonna lie.
Can't wait to surprise my fiance with these signs at our wedding in 19 days. Welcome to Emily's wedding, featuring Bailey. Nice, just Emily's wedding. Emily's getting married to herself. That's it. Emily's wedding. That would just feel so... listen, I completely understand because I know a lot of guys, well, I guess I shouldn't generalize, but like, I've heard stories of how some people will just like drop the ball and let one person do all the planning and stuff. So, it might feel like it's just your wedding, but I feel like there's a story behind this one. Or maybe it's just a bridezilla who thinks that the wedding is all about them and not about their love and their relationship. Who knows? Who am I to say?
Okay. This is one of those am I the things. So, for being mad that the best man only danced with me once. A little bit, yes, because the best man's time is not devoted to you during a ceremony, during a wedding, at any time. So yeah, I think you're a bit of an asshole, but you know what? That is up to everybody's judgment. I'm not going to, you know what? I just did judge you by calling you an asshole, but to be fair, it's because I think you are. Moving on. Went to a wedding that was a dry wedding only. She refused to let anyone bring alcohol, and the wedding was in the middle of nowhere. The wedding was several hours before the reception, and there was absolutely nothing to do. There was no entertainment, no food, no drinks, etc. We had to wait for 4 hours for them. Then the bridal party shows up and they had alcohol for themselves. Our entire group left. Okay, we're just gonna clear that screen for a second. First of all, if you're demanding that your wedding is a dry wedding, why do the bridal party then show up with alcohol? Very much giving contradictive. And then on top of that, we're gonna talk about the fact that the wedding was in the middle of nowhere, so inconveniencing your guests. And it was several hours before the reception. Now, I've been to a wedding with a really long gap between the wedding and the reception, and I'm telling you right now, that is agony. Like, you don't know what to do with yourself. You cannot go home, especially if she's talking about this wedding being in the middle of nowhere. You cannot just go home and be like, okay, I'll show back up to the reception in a couple hours. Sometimes the reception and the wedding are on two opposite sides of the city. Sometimes the wedding and the reception are right next to each other, but you can't get in until the time starts. There is so much that could go wrong for that. It's the fact that she said over 4+ hours. I would have took myself home, but you know what? They did, because their entire group eventually left. So kudos to them, hats off, I guess.
My best friend got mad at me that I was away at college while she was planning her wedding because she thought I should be there with her instead. Yeah, I mean, your best friend's wedding or an education. It really is these two things that everyone is faced with in their life. Which one do you do? Which one's the right path to take? If your friend is gonna get mad at you for being at college while she's trying to plan her wedding, then you need to find a new best friend at college, I think. That's just my opinion, but I think maybe we need to move on from that friendship, because that's crazy. At a wedding I went to, the bride replaced a bridesmaid of hers at the last minute because she dyed her hair a slightly lighter brown the night before. Apparently didn't match the dress, which was bright pink. I mean, you know, bright pink and all those matching colors it has. What in the world? Like, what do you mean she dyed her hair and it didn't match the dress? That makes no sense. Can we talk about how bridesmaid dresses are always ugly? I don't know what it is. I mean, there has been nice ones. I will say that I have seen nice ones. But some of the time, I'm like, does the bride have a vendetta? Did she got something to prove? What's going on here? My cousin had a screaming hissy fit because none of her bridesmaids could afford to attend her dream bachelorette party in Vegas. We're on the East Coast. Yeah, I mean, that's really far away. I think it's pretty reasonable to not be able to afford a trip to Vegas. I don't know, it's not the cheapest place that exists in the entire world, first of all, and not everyone has money to just go on a trip at any given time, you know? Like, even if it was a weekend away, sometimes people don't have money for that, so I don't know, that just seems crazy. That just seems crazy. A screaming hissy fit. Like, being upset is like, whatever, you know, you're entitled to your feelings, whether they're valid or not. Well, they're always valid. Your feelings are always valid. Whatever, they're your feelings, you can't control them. But a screaming hissy fit is maybe taking it a little too far. You know what I mean? It's just a little cross the line, I would say. Last weekend, a bride strode into a gorgeous rented chapel 4 hours early while 30 people are praying in her super short makeup robe and freaked out because one table was not set up at that moment. She picked up a chair in front of everybody and threw it in a trash can. Yep, imagine. 4 hours early, and you pick up a chair and throw it in a trash can because a table's not set up? Well, what if that chair was gonna go at that table you want set up so bad, but now it can't because it's in the trash can? Jeez Louise. Also, how uncomfortable. Well, 30 people are praying? Oh my god, can I tell you guys this story? Okay, so I don't come from like a super religious family. Don't be upset about that. It just is what it is, okay? So we don't really say grace before we eat. So it's something that sometimes I forget that other people do. So I was serving one day and I was running food and I 1,000,000%, me and a bunch of other servers, because it was like a large table, ran all this food over in the middle of their grace. And I've never been so uncomfortable in my life. I don't pray, but I respect other people's, you know, their routines. That's what I'm trying to say. So I can't imagine having a hissy fit, like walking in while 30 people are praying. Like, I would be mortified. I would leave and come back tomorrow. I'd miss my own damn wedding. I had a friend that threw a temper tantrum complete with screaming and what is it with people screaming? Like, I really have never seen an adult do this in front of my own eyes. Because her grandmother had the audacity to die a few hours before her wedding. I mean, that grandma and the audacity. She said it would throw off the seating arrangements because now there would be a big empty space. Oh my God, Karens are really worried about people's eyes, people's hair length, and the seating arrangements? Because now there's gonna be a big empty space because your grandma died? That's insane. I think that was just somebody's grief coming out in a different way, because that seems crazy.